One of the fun things about the Disney races is that a lot of runners run their race in costume. Now, I've done this myself as well, and I really enjoy watching the other runners and see what outfits they come up with. Some of them can be really elaborate, so today we're going to look at the best running costumes. I've asked some help from some other Disney runners to see what their favorite outfits were, so we'll be checking in with them shortly in this video. I've also asked other people on Facebook to see what their favorite outfits were or favorite outfits that they've seen, and I've got in a lot of pictures, so I'll be showing these pictures throughout the video. I think pretty much every race has costume runners now. Some races even make all their runners run in costume, like the Santa run or the Chuck Norris run. But I think the Disney runs, they far exceed the number of runners that come in costume. Some are just adjusted running gear, but some of them are really elaborate and look very uncomfortable to run in. My personal favorite was my Roger Rabbit outfit. I really enjoyed running in it, especially because of the reaction that I got from all the people on the sidelines. Even though a couple of times people yell at me that I was running late, thinking that I was the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. But a couple of times after I passed, I would hear the people next to them saying, no, that's Roger Rabbit. So that was pretty fun. And most of the clothes that I was wearing was just adjusted running gear. So apart from the suspenders and the ears, it wasn't too uncomfortable to run in. Now, the hardest outfit for me to run in was my Jack Sparrow outfit that I wore for the 5K at the Disney World Marathon weekend in 2018. It was extremely cold out that weekend, and the outfit was very, very thin. So not just waiting in the corrals, but also during the race, it was still very cold. And I also bought the hat, the Jack Sparrow hat, at the Disneyland park the day before the race. So I never ran in it before, didn't test it before. And I found out during the race that the dreadlocks with the beads bounced off my face the entire 5K. So yeah, that was a bit uncomfortable.
Hey Arno, it's Meredith Rice from Rice Runner, and I heard you had a couple questions for me about race costumes. For me, the favorite costume that I wore during a race was my Briar Rose costume for the Disneyland Paris 10K from the 2018 Magic Run weekend. I loved it because I wore my hair down and I was dressed as the princess who the castle is inspired by. Provincial Belle was a close second for me, which I wore for the Disneyland Paris Half Marathon, mostly because of this picture though. Yeah, I am peculiar. I ran with a book the entire time. I have this one planned for the London Marathon in April though, so depending on the reactions that I get, I may have a new one soon. As far as the best costume that I've seen somebody else wear, this Sleeping Beauty castle costume has to be up there. As well as Michael Gabriel, who dressed as Walt Disney. A group costume where people were a monorail. Don't have a picture of that, but it was pretty awesome. Group costumes get me every time. And I don't have a picture of this one either, but Princess Ada for the Princess Half Marathon. I thought that was really clever. You know, you see a lot of Belles and Snow Whites and Elsas, but Princess Ada from A Bug's Life, don't see many of them. I like the unusual characters best. Here are a few other honorable mentions that I found from my latest Disney races. Good question, Ardo. And as he says, keep running. Bye.
It's very hard to pick a favorite costume because there's so many great costumes out there. I've asked people to send me pictures of your favorite costumes, so let's have a look at some of them. Favorite costume that I've seen was at the 5K marathon weekend 2018. I was going up to the corral and I saw a whole group of people trying to warm up at one of the heated poles, and they were dressed up as the Muppets. Now I saw Kelly McAllister there. She was dressed up as Sweetums, and I just thought that was the most amazing costume. It looked so uncomfortable to run in, but it looked awesome. She saw my video and she reacted to it because she was in the video. So that's how I knew who she was. And I contacted her to send me some pictures. And she sent me some pictures of the group and of her running. And she actually sent me a picture of her with somebody else that was dressed up as the dog from the Pirates of the Caribbean. So I thought that was just amazing. It's like the most amazing shots, 2 really awesome outfits. I love it when people dress up as the more obscure characters, things that you don't see a lot. So when somebody dresses up as a Mickey Waffle, that makes me smile. One of those outfits that I saw was at the 10K at Marathon Weekend was Captain EO. Now I was kind of rushing to get to my corral and I didn't really get a good shot of him, but I thought his outfit was really awesome. Even just a special touch that he had TK, the little fuzzy creature, on his shoulder. That was amazing. I love that.
Hey Arno and everybody who watches Arno's channel. It's me, Jen Lefforge, and Arno reached out and asked me to chat with you guys about Run Disney costumes, my favorite costume that I've ever run in, and other costumes that I've seen that I loved. So I'm really excited. I'm so glad that he asked me to be here today. So I have run over 30 Run Disney races. I've run in Paris, I've run in California, I've run in Florida, and I absolutely love Run Disney. I will tell you, I am not a very elaborate costume person. I am definitely a function over form kind of a girl. I would say my favorite costume that I've ever worn was for the 2013 Walt Disney World Marathon when I went as Minnie Mouse, and I ran with my best running friend Sarah, and I loved going all along the course and we kept hearing, "Go Minnie, go Minnie," and that was super fun. I also once ran as Mrs. Incredible, and that was really fun because who doesn't want to hear "Go Mrs. Incredible" as they're running along? But I'm not one to go really elaborate because I have to be comfortable when I'm running, and I'm just really weird about anything that tugs or pulls or if I'm too hot. So I love the sparkle athletic skirts. Those are really fun because you can kind of make those, they're very comfortable. You can wear your own shorts underneath or leggings or whatever it is you wear when you run, but you still feel comfortable, but you're kind of themed. So for me, it's more like Disney bounding. I just recently went as Maleficent, ran as Maleficent for the Disneyland Paris half, and that was really fun. But again, and I'll show you guys a picture of as much of this as I can find pictures for. I'll show you guys. I liked doing that because I ran, it was more Disney bounding. So I was still very comfortable in running clothes that fit me well and didn't chafe or any of that, but I still had that Disney spirit and I just loved that. So as far as my favorite running costume I've seen someone else wearing, I am a classic Disney person when it comes to run Disney races, and I once saw a whole group of people running as the original Mouseketeers, and I think this will translate outside of the United States, but the original Walt Disney television show that was on with the Mouseketeers in the 1950s, and they had on the white sweaters with the names across the top and the pleated skirts, and it was just adorable. And I love those, anytime it's like a vintage nod, when people go as the VIP tour guides, I always think that's really cute. So I've seen so many great costumes over the years, and for me, that's part of the fun of running a Run Disney race, is seeing all the creativity that everybody else comes up with. So Arno, thanks for having me be here. If you guys want to follow along, I'm sure Arno will put a link to my channel somewhere, and I'd love to have you over at Jen Lefforge on YouTube. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you're running happy.
Another thing that I love is when people get together and get matching outfits. Now, it's one thing if you're a couple or two friends that run together. If you're a bigger group, now that's a beautiful thing. Now, somebody sent me a picture of a group effort that I absolutely loved. Somebody ran as a table with spaghetti. Now, by itself, that makes no sense. But as a group running as Lady and the Tramp, that is awesome. Now, somebody who always has great outfits is my friend Michael Gabriel. Now, Meredith already mentioned him, and you may know him from photos of the races or from my videos, or maybe you've seen him on the jumbo screen while you were waiting in your corral for the races, because he gets interviewed a lot. He always has really awesome outfits, but instead of me showing you or telling you about it, let's ask Michael for his favorites.
Michael Gabriel, who some people know by Run the Small World. I run in a lot of costumes, having done 32 unique costumes at Disney races, as well as a few others. With so many ranging from full-length dresses with wigs to lights and major props, I think my very favorite is when I ran as Walt Disney in the 2018 Disney Wine and Dine Half Marathon last November, this one, wearing a full business suit, a dress shirt, a tie, dress socks, and carrying a Mickey puppet. Now, I did actually wear running shoes instead of dress shoes because there's only so far I can go, but I think it's my very favorite costume that I've run in because of all the detail I put into it, going so far as to grow a mustache and have a friend embroider Walt's Smoke Tree Ranch logo on the tie. Wearing that while running through Disney World entertained so many people that it made nearly passing out entirely worth it. And yes, I really did nearly pass out. As for my favorite costume I've ever seen other people wear, I saw it a long time ago, and it's still my favorite, but I really loved when some runners did a group costume as the Disney World monorail. Something about the impracticality just really gets me, because it was huge and bulky, and it was a group doing it, and that's kind of crazy. But I really love seeing what other runners do, because even though I go pretty impractical, I love seeing just things where people toss all caution to the wind and are just out there to walk and have a fun time and can really do crazy things.
The thing that I've hoped for with my costumes during the races is to have a character stop with that character, or with some character that matches your outfit, like from the same movie. Now, so far that hasn't happened. I do have a photo of me as Jack Sparrow with Jack Sparrow, but that was for Pirate Night during the Disney Dream Cruise. That was not during a race. And I'm already working on my outfits for Disneyland Paris and for Dopey 2020. You'll have to wait until then to find out what they are though. I'd like to thank everybody for sending me their pictures and the videos. Special thanks to Meredith from Rice Rice Runner. That's her YouTube channel, so check that out if you haven't seen it yet. Jen Lefforge, who has a Disney channel on YouTube, and she's a Disney runner, so there's a lot of information about Disney and the Disney runs, so check that out if you don't know them. Also, Michael Gabriel, who has a podcast about Disney runs. It's called Run the Small World. So listen to that to get more information about his experiences in running, and especially Disney runs. Subscribe to this channel down below. Make sure you ring the bell so you get a notification when the next video is up. Until next time, get out there and run.